folks, to our maths session. I'm now doing grade 10 algebraic fractions. In this particular section, the most important thing is to be able to factorize expressions. Now, I know that you have done methods of factorizations. You must remember all of them. If I have to remind you of all those methods, number one, that is factorizing by removing the highest common factor. Number two, that is factorization of a quadratic by having two brackets. Number three, that is factorization of difference of two squares. Number four, you must be able to factorize where you are having to group the terms, factorizing by grouping. In grade 10, you have done all those four methods of factorization, and now the most important one, the fifth one, is factorizing sum or difference of two cubes. Please folks, make it a point that you practice all those five methods and you master them, because you are going to need them here. I'm telling you, 2 or 3 of them in one problem are going to be required here. Now, let's get into the examples. It says here, simplify the following. Be very careful, we are dealing with expressions. Now, it is 3x squared plus 7x plus 2 divided by 12x plus 4 multiplied by 6 divided by x plus 2. I am multiplying fractions. Now, I said to you, be able to factorize. What I advise you to do is visit each and every expression. Check whether it should be factorized or not. Now, I am in this one, 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. And I can see that it's a quadratic. And I need to have two brackets to factorize this. Now, when I factorize, I'm going to factorize this in such a way that the factors of the first term and the factors of the last term work together to give me the middle term. What do I mean by that? Factors of 3x squared are 3x and x. Factors of 2 are 2 and 1. Now, if I want to get a 7, I must put a 2 there and the 1 here, so that when I multiply this and that, I get 6x. When I multiply this and this, I get an x. When I add 6x and x, I must get 7x. Now, that means it must be positive here and positive there. I'm visiting the second expression, which is 12x plus a 4. I can see that it is a binomial and I don't have perfect squares. But there is a common factor in 12 and 4. And not only a common factor, the highest common factor. The highest common factor between 12 and 4 is 4. Now, removing this 4 is the same as dividing by 4 here and there. When I divide by 4 here, I get 3x. When I divide by 4 there, I get 1. Now, here I can see that nothing must be done to 6. In this one, I can't factorize that. The next important thing is, what mathematical operation are you dealing with in your fraction? In this case, it is multiplication. That means now that because I am multiplying these two terms, I can cross cancel the same. Because on this side I'm now multiplying, I can also cancel the same. Now, 3x plus 1 is the same as 3x plus 1. I cancel out that whole bracket. X plus 2 is the same as x plus 2. I cancel out that particular bracket. There are 2 2's in 4 and there are 3 2's in 6. That means my answer is 3 divided by 2. I am done here, folks. I want to remind you of this again. Be able to factorize. It is very important here. And using any method that is required. Let's get to number 1.2. I hope that you understood this. The two factors being multiplied together will give us that. The two factors being multiplied together must give you that. Now let's move to the second one. The second one is 3 minus y divided by 2y squared plus minus y minus 3 minus 2 divided by 6y minus 9 plus 4 divided by 2y minus 3. Again, folks, check each and every expression whether it can be factorized or not. Now, I'm checking the first one. It is just a 3 minus y. I cannot factorize that. I write it as it is. I'm going to the second one now. If you look at this, it's a quadratic. That is why I'm going to have 2 brackets. It's a quadratic expression. The factors of 2y squared and the factors of minus 3 must work together to give me that. That is why I'm going to say factors of 2y squared are 2y and y. We know that the factors of 3 are 3 and 1 or 1 and 3. But now, if I can put 3 there and put 1 there, it would be 3 times 2, which is a 6, and 1 times y, which is a 1y. A 6y and a 1y won't give me a minus y. That is why I'm going to put 3 here and put 1 there. Now, because the middle term is negative, the bigger product must bear the sign of the middle term. Because I want to subtract this and that, the signs must be different. Now, if I multiply this and that, I get plus 2y. If I multiply this and that, I get minus 3y. Minus 3y plus 2y is a minus y. Now, let's get into the next one. It is 2 there, I can't do anything. If you look at this one now, you've got 6y minus 9. Between 6 and 9, there is a common factor, and I'm talking about the highest common factor, which is 3. Now, removing 3 as the highest common factor is the same as dividing each term by 3. When I divide 6y by 3, I get a 2y. When I divide minus 9 by a 3, I get a minus 3. That is so beautiful. We move to the next one. It's a 4 there. Right there. There's absolutely nothing that you can do. There's no common factor there. It's a binomial. You write it as it is. Now, let's get to the operation that we are dealing with there. You are subtracting and adding fractions with denominators that are not exactly the same. What is required then? Remember, back then, what you did was to determine the lowest common multiple of all the denominators. In this case, I have a 3 there. I'll start by putting the 3. I have 2y minus 3, 2y minus 3, 2y minus 3. I'm going to put that there, 2y minus 3. Remember, I want the lowest common multiple. I'm multiplying this 3 by this 2y minus 3, 2y minus 3, 2y minus 3. Surely, if you are talking about the lowest common multiple, if there's no y plus 1 there, you won't be able to work this out. That is why I must also multiply it by y plus 1. Now, every little expression here is represented there, meaning that now I can be able to do this mathematical operation using that. How do we do that? You take your LCM, you divide it by each and every one of those denominators. I'm going to do that. For the first one, it is going to be 3 multiplied by 2y minus 3 multiplied by y plus 1 divided by 2y minus 3 multiplied by y plus 1. Surely when I do that, this is going to cancel that because we are dividing. We are left with a 3. Then I'm going to say 3 multiplied by the numerator there. Beautiful. I bring down that sign, minus. I divide my LCM with that expression there. I can see that 3 will cancel 3. 2y minus 3 will cancel 2y minus 3. I'm left with y plus 1, which should be multiplied by that. Therefore, it would be 2 multiplied by y plus 1. We bring down that plus sign. Again, I take my LCM, divide it by that denominator. When I do that, this bracket will cancel this bracket because they are the same. I'm now left with 3 multiplied by y plus 1. I must multiply it with 4. That is why I'm going to say 4 into 3 multiplied by y plus 1. Beautiful. Now, the next step to follow is multiplication of all the terms to remove the brackets. That would be 9, 3 by 3 is a 9, 3 by minus y is a minus 3y, minus 2 times y is a minus 2y, minus 2 times plus 1 is a minus 2, plus 4 times 3 is 12, times y is a plus 12y, 4 times 3 is 12, times 1, it would be plus 12. The denominator or the LCM as it is, brought down. And now, I must add all the like terms there. My like terms would be 9 minus 2 and a 12. 9 minus 2 is a 7. 9 minus 2 is a 7. 7 plus 12 is 19. Then, all those are like terms again. Minus 3y and minus 2y is a minus 5y. Minus 5y plus 12 It's a plus 7y divided by 3 times 2y minus 3 into y plus 1. Now I can see that there's absolutely nothing that I can do there. There's no common factor. Here, I'm going to leave it as it is. I have simplified this expression. Thank you very much, folks. Like our page and subscribe. Cheers.